So Cody Rhodes was seen arriving at Raw this week, and that hit different, didn't it? Because it meant at some point over the weekend, he must have had this conversation with someone. So, Cody, man, how was your weekend? Well, you're not going to believe this, but another man asked me if I wanted to give him my soul. Whoa! Also, my friends, welcome to Ups and Downs, the only wrestling review show you need. And I have a bit of personal information for you because I am still the People's Progress Proteus Champion. That's right, I had another match on Sunday, and now I am 5-0 when it comes to title defenses. Don't forget you can watch all of this on Triller or Demand Progress. Then you can come and give me a down. I get it. Ha ha, funny, funny. Also remember the WhatCulture tour is coming to you, United Kingdom. We are following the WWE around to like Manchester and London and Belfast and Glasgow. So get your tickets right now. There should be some information in that description. But otherwise, let's take our fingers of powers, give the good bits an up and the bad bits a down for Montag Night Raw. And it was indeed Logan Paul who kicked off this show. And of course he's from Ohio and Raw was in Cincinnati. Everybody still went boo, they were not saying boo words. He of course did the whole, oh, I'm better than you and I don't want to be here, but I'm here anyway, because I wanted to perform in front of you peasants. I want to be that guy, but that doesn't make any sense. Paul then gloated about the fact that he had defeated Rey Mysterio, when I'm 99% sure he called the rest of the people in the Elimination Chamber doorknobs. I was like, oh yeah, really good burn there, Logan Paul. You're all like inanimate objects that have a very serious and very intended purpose. Yeah, good one. Paul then promised that one day he will become the face of the company, when thank goodness CM Punk interrupted. I don't want to be that guy, but I have never been so happy to see someone interrupt a promo. Logan did let him talk because he was all like, oh man, here is CM Punk, the man that fails over and over again, whereas I, Logan Paul, succeed at everything I do. Now I got excited because it is CM Punk, the master of the microphone, the voice of the voiceless. I was like, oh, he's gonna lay into this guy so hard. Much like when Logan Paul was having the feud with LA Knight, I can only assume, and I am speculating here, that CM was told, listen, my friend, there are a few things you can't talk about, and I'm just going to say it straight out of my mouth. I think that's baloney. There are so many answers that CM Punk could have had to the question, why do you hate me? And I understand that WWE probably doesn't want to talk about some of the stuff in Logan Paul's non-wrestling world. Within the wrestling world, especially when you have someone like CM Punk, well, look at all his most recent promo offs. He will just talk about everything. And that's what makes him in this situation so compelling. Now, Punk did throw in the fact that he actually has no personal issue with Logan Paul because he doesn't know him well enough, but he does know he's just a loudmouth ignoramus that eventually is just going to peter away. He carried on saying that Logan has no substance when Paul did butt in. He was all like, oh man, CM Punk, you had this amazing 2023 comeback, and it was you that couldn't handle the pressure because you crumbled instantly and got injured. Now listen, once again, I'm making this up in my own mind, but the real life Phil Brooks in his head surely was thinking, man, I could destroy you, but somebody has told me I'm not allowed. Logan then talking about major names in the industry such as Stone Cold Steve Austin and how he too will follow in their footsteps, when Punk was like, nah brah, I'm a legend like Stone Cold Steve Austin, you ain't shit. In fact, he called him a flash in the pan, but that is totally fine because, of course, the Elimination Chamber is this weekend. And not only shall CM Punk take out Logan Paul, he shall then go on to WrestleMania to defeat Cody Rhodes. Maybe that's even thanks to The Rock. I threw that bit in when Punk was like, I don't even care if Cody Rhodes sells his soul because I'm going to tell you, Logan Paul, what Cody already knows. I'm the devil. You know, they are really teasing this. I mean, what would the devil do? Paul, of course, then slapped Punk before he ran away. And that has to mean, come the Elimination Chamber, CM Punk is going to kill this guy. And honestly, please let that happen. Although we do find ourselves in a Natalie Imbruglia situation because I'm torn. What I will do is I will give it up to CM Punk because he's always good, even when maybe he has been told, yeah, sorry, my friend, there are some things you can't say. But just think if Logan Paul is going to put himself in this top guy position, or if he's going to be moved into that top guy position, surely some things have to be fair game. I mean, it's the same for all the other WWE superstars, and it's where WWE shines at the moment. You take two of your top fellas and you can just talk at each other now, and it's flubbing brilliant. In this instance, that was taken away from us. So that just feels like fair game to me. When it comes to Logan Paul, you either want to be in or you're out. That has to be how it works. I mean, go back to the Drew McIntyre CM Punk feud. Flipping Drew McIntyre went to Mindy's Bakery. So I am giving it a down because I just think if you are going to hang at the top, you should be ready to accept the barbs and throw them back. Maybe I need to get over this. Maybe I'm the problem. That would be nothing new for my life. When Ludwig Kaiser won a match. Good grief. Bowser's son was also taking on Pete Dunne and Penta, so of course when you do break this right down, That was really, really good. Now, of course, Kaiser and Pete worked over Penta for a little bit because they do hate him. When the Masked Man not only came back with a power bomb, but he used the Hurricane Rana to launch one of them into the other, and he did double dives 2025. This is when from nowhere Pete Dunne snuck in and he hit the bitter end, and you could argue he had the match won. That's when Ludwig was like, oh, forgot, I want to win, and he broke it up at the 1-2. Of course, that meant the fellowship was broken, and Penta took advantage of that, because he hit a flipping Mexican destroyer onto Pete Dunne, off of Ludwig Kaiser's back. Doesn't make any sense. It's 2 + 2 = potato. He also had his finish ready, but Kaiser was like, I don't care about that. So he took Penta, he threw him out the ring, he then hit his big maneuver on Pete Dunne, and hot damn, he got the 1-2-3. I had to rewind that and watch it again. It's been a long time since Ludwig Kaiser got a win. No idea how it benefits him going forward, because these three are kind of just involved in a personal beef, but that's fine. Maybe it does lead to a championship sooner or later. But I like Ludwig Kaiser. He should have a great 2025, as should the other two as well. In fact, they all make a very good combo. Give it up. Jackie Redmond was then chatting to Rhea Ripley, who is very excited about her match with Io Sky, because it's been 5 years since they last met. She also admitted, you know what, I've never actually beaten Io Sky, but that's okay, because again, during this time, I've beaten the likes of Becky Lynch, I've beaten the likes of Charlotte Flair. I'm ready. Guy finally popped in and was like, actually, I'm going to beat you and I shall enter WrestleMania as the champion. If I was going to guess, I do not think that's going to happen. The New Day then walked to the ring, and of course they got pelted with boos, and they were like, man, we really don't want to be here. It turned out they were taking on Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure I saw those two dudes in a milk carton recently. I really do think that Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods should have just beaten these guys clean as well, given where they are in the pecking order, but instead they decided, we're gonna rake your eyes behind the ref's back, and we're going to use that to our advantage. That's exactly what happened too, and then Kingston grabbed Wilde and he threw him out the ring as the New Day hit the up, down, down onto Del Toro, 1, 2, 3. Dragon Lee tried to help his friends, but he got totally smashed, and that one did make sense. Did you not use your calculator, Dragon Lee? I mean, you are a dragon, I totally get it, but you didn't think of the numbers game. So the match was fine, and the New Day winning was good, so I am going to give it an up. But I'm also just going to throw a tiny down in there, because I just feel like we need to do more with the New Day. Later on, they did another interview and said, we won't be on next week's show, because we're going on holiday. These two had one of the best heel turns ever, and look, the opportunity is still there, but I really do think we have to strike soon. Otherwise, we may lose all the momentum. Finn Balor then found Dominic Mysterio and said, listen to me, Dom, you absolute idiot. Last week was the most embarrassing moment in Judgment Day history. It's quite the statement. He also blamed Dominic for this, but Dommy was having none of that. He was like, listen, dude, you took on Seth Rollins, and did you qualify for the Elimination Chamber? No, you didn't. Mysterio then tried to make it clear we need a new member, so someone is quite clearly coming in. When Liv Morgan and Raquel, I wear sunglasses now because I'm a bad guy, Rodriguez was like, would we all calm down? We have a tag team match later, and we need to chill out. Their big plan is to win those championships, and that will calm the Judgment Day down. And I tell you, in the background, I swear there was an icon that was kind of hinting at Finn Balor's demon persona. Something is cooking. Even Finn then kind of said to Liv and Raquel, well, didn't you have something to do with Jade Cargill's attempted murder? And they were like, no, that was nothing to do with us. So it does feel like we're about to find out who the perpetrator is, and it's definitely not these two. Morgan also told Balor and Dom to get on the same page because Dommy Boy is taking on Bron Breakker later, and that excites me too, for reasons we shall get into, but they reluctantly agreed. So it really does feel like we're on the road to the end of the Day of Judgment, and it does feel like it's time. But WWE went and confused me. Damn it. So after the Royal Rumble, I was convinced that when we got to WrestleMania, it would be AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, because do not forget it was Logan Paul that threw out AJ Styles. We then kind of veered into different directions, when here, yes, AJ was about to cut a promo, and who interrupted him? It was Logan flipping Paul. Now, he said he embarrassed Styles at the Rumble, which was quite the description. I mean, what was embarrassing? It was like, I threw you out of the match, where the goal is to throw people out the match. And bless AJ Styles, he basically said that, and he was like, yeah, dude, that's what you're meant to do. There's nothing embarrassing about it. So maybe I was right all along. At the moment, I have no idea who Logan Paul is facing at WrestleMania. There's about 42,000 guys it could be. When Gunther came to the ring, and I tell you, if you want to tell me that he is WWE's MVP right now, I would not disagree with you. Although not that MVP, he went to AEW. This was more talk about embarrassment though, because he thinks Jey Uso is a total embarrassment. especially the Yeet Circus. I was like, man, I tell you, I would visit the Yeet Circus and I would pay a pretty penny. He then made up some tradition though, because he was like, Adam Pearce, you know I am the champion, and I get to make my own matchups as we head to WrestleMania. It's like, where the hell did that come from? And do you know who the ring general chose? It was Flubbin' Tozawa. Now, to be fair, this all came down to what Gunther had seen earlier, because the Alpha Academy had been dancing. Why wouldn't you do that backstage at a wrestling event? And because he thinks Tozawa used to be a great man, and now he's become an embarrassment or a clown like Jey Uso, that's how he's gonna get his revenge. I was like, damn it, Gunther, you're too good. Now, this did add up because, of course, if we're going to have the Yeet Circus, we need some clowns. But Gunther then tied this all in because he was like, listen, dude, listen, Tozawa, we had similar paths. We both came from different countries. We both got in the shape of our lives to make sure we signed got WWE. And while I went on to become a world champion, you are nothing more than a joke. And of course, that's how Gunther sees Jey Uso too. So like Britney Spears, we did it again. When we were going to have this match, and Tozawa was totally pissed off, he went and smacked Gunther right in the head. Very sadly, this was a terrible mistake because Gunther came back with this big boot. And if we learn that Tozawa doesn't have a head anymore, I will totally believe it. I mean, it was so bad you could call him Dead Zawa, which is the dumbest thing I've ever said. Although from nowhere, he was able to hit the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up. That only got a 1-2-ooh. And it was a mistake because Gunther killed him. Because he eventually caught him in midair and applied a Boston Crab, which was very interesting because he's not from Boston and he's not a crab. When he gave him this bomb of power, and look, he had the match won, but he wanted to teach this guy a lesson. He sunk in the choke and Tozawa went to sleep. I was like, damn it, Tozawa, if you had got your 8 hours last night, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Gunther, of course, was going to finish him off before Otis made the save. And do you know what Otis' big plan was? I'm going to gyrate in your direction. I was like, Otis, you desperately need another plan. But actually, Gunther did bail. But as soon as Otis did turn his back, Gunther murked him too. Of course, it all led to Jey Uso coming out to make the save. And this crowd went absolutely nuts. And if you came to me yesterday and said, listen, Simon, because we do have a few more weeks before WrestleMania, Gunther is going to get embroiled in a mini-feud with the Alpha Academy, I'd be like, that's not actually what's going to happen, is it? But man, in practice or in execution, this works so well, and I don't even know why, but I'm giving it a massive up. This helped every single character who did get involved. I guess next week we're going to get Otis versus Gunther. Sign my name on that piece of paper. They got a video for the Women's Elimination Chamber, and on the down low, I do kind of feel like we could build that a little bit better when we had an Intercontinental title match, Lyra Valkyria versus Dakota Kai. Now, I'll be the first to admit this needs a little bit something extra, just because that Intercontinental title needs to have a fire lit under it. But I'm gonna say, if WWE keeps doing matches like this, it's going to be totally fine. Because Lyra hit this awesome delayed vertical suplex out of the corner, when Dakota Kai came back by just smashing her right in the face. And I was like, damn it, I'm in. They then traded surprise roll-ups, because of course they did, when Lyra essentially bridged out of one and hit a bomb of power. I was like, man, this is pure Mortal Kombat. Fight. Dakota then caught her with a kick that was super. And when Valkyria jumped to her, Dakota hit the chiropractor. I know I talk about this every single week. I'm never going to be able to get over it. Here you go. I helped you back. They then just went at it until eventually Lyra was like, oh my gosh, I do have the higher ground. And she hit the Nightwing out of nowhere. And she got the 1-2-3. This was just a damn good Intercontinental title match. So I'll definitely take more of this, and I am going to give it an up. And afterwards, the babyface hugged because they are good guys. When Ivy Nile ran out, she threw Dakota to one side. And of course, she absolutely bludgeoned Lyra Valkyria, because this was her way of saying Geese title shot. She also posed with the belt, and yes, I do have to give this a down. I am all for Ivy Nile going after the Intercontinental Championship, but she lost the #1 contender match against Dakota Kai just to come out here and beat somebody up to become the #1 contender. That is like Google mapping to your house. Did we actually really achieve anything? And there is an upside to this, because I have a great match. I just think we could tell some better stories. When we had this video package for Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, when Sami Zayn was doing a sit-down interview, and oh my gosh, this was good. Now, Jackie Redmond did ask about the fact that Kevin Owens had been to Sami Zayn's home. So I was like, yeah, about that. Do you know what I did the other day? I went to Kevin Owens' home too, because I've lost my mind. Now, thankfully, when he got there, Kevin's mother was visiting. So instead of doing a home invasion, they just sat down, they had a cup of tea, and they caught up. I was like, Sam, you're so lovely. Now, this was a blessing as disguise, though, because again, Sam wanted to do bad things, and that's what he's struggling with right now, because even though him and Kevin Owens have fought time and time again, this time, it feels a little bit differently. In fact, both of them have got a little bit insane. Because Sam doesn't recognize himself, and he most definitely doesn't recognize Kevin, but that's why they are having an unsanctioned match. And he gets it, he understands why WWE is worried about his neck. But actually, WWE should be worried about Mr. Kevin Owens, because Sami Zayn is gonna break him. He even actually said that this will be worse than anything they've done to each other in the past, which terrifies me if you've seen their matches for like 2010, when he looked right down the camera and said, Kevin, I promise you, you are in for a bad time. So one of two things is going to happen. Either Sami Zayn is gonna make Kevin Owens sit down and watch that awful movie rendition of Cats, or this could be a street fight hardcore match for the ages, but either way, Sami Zayn just built this up brilliantly to the point I cannot wait. You should go and check this out. I'm giving it up. Roxanne Perez then interrupted a Bayley promo, and Bayley was like, oh, Roxy, you're doing so well, and maybe we could fight at WrestleMania 42 when you're good and ready. You know what that means? Yes, you're totally correct. They are definitely going to fight at WrestleMania 41. We also got a pre-match promo from Bianca Belair and Naomi, because they are going to wreck Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. But don't worry about that for now, it will happen in our main event. Before that though, it was Bron Breakker versus Dominic Mysterio in a non-intercontinental title match. And given Dom came to the ring with Carlito and Finn Balor, I was like, hey, referee, maybe you want to do something about these two fools. And he did absolutely nothing. Now, of course, Bron was destroying Dominic until they did get involved. But this kind of excites me. Because I was like, well, we've teased Bron Breakker versus AJ Styles, and now we're kind of teaming Bron Breakker versus Finn Balor, and I would take all of these, hook it to my vein. Dominic used that to his advantage as he was able to hit the 619. But when he went for the splash of the frogs, Breakker cut him off, hit the most ridiculous Frankensteiner you have ever seen. He was about to spear Dominic as well, which of course is when the Judgment Day got too involved. And this time the referee was like, I'm right here, you absolute buffoons. Why do you do this to me? And he called for the DQ. It was secretly great, however, even though WWE does way too many disqualifications, because the Day of Judgment was going to destroy Bron with Charlie the Chair, but he just killed all of them. Dominic got thrown out of there, Carlito got speared. When he looked at Finn Balor, and Finn Balor looked at him, and don't forget when wrestlers do that, it's because they are super duper whooper serious. So if this doesn't lead to a match, what the flub are we doing? It also means I'm still completely perplexed what we're doing at WrestleMania. Once again, where does Styles go? Where does Finn Balor go? Where does Logan Paul go? A little bit worried now I've said that could be the triple threat, and it would tie into what we've seen, but either way, I do think we're far enough away from Mania that it just gets me excited, and I like the fantasy book, all those negative Nancy's like, oh, we shouldn't do that. Of course we should. So all in all, give it up. When we got our big recap of everything The Rock had done on SmackDown with Cody Rhodes, boy howdy, did that destroy my mentions all weekend. I can't help the fact that I liked it. No, it didn't make much sense, but I do enjoy goofy wrestling for life, and I watch so much professional wrestling. If you give me a segment with top stars that is totally unhinged, this bald asshole is going to enjoy it. We also cut to the Alpha Academy quickly, and Ivy now was like, oh, I'm going to win the Intercontinental title, and the Creeds were like, oh, we're going to win the tag team titles. Once again, I am just a little bit like, can we come up with some kind of narrative that isn't just people walking around going, oh, give me a title, give me a title. I mean, I guess within the world of WWE, it does work. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Kathy Kelly was brilliant here too. She said to Ivy, did you do that because you want a shot at the title? And now looked at her like she had two heads. The War Raiders the whole time was stood right there, so they were going to try and beat up the Creeds when the useless wrestling security guards stopped them. But I guess we can't call them useless on this evening. They did a good job. When I do believe we got to the highlight of the night. Because Cody Rhodes arrived and he said, listen, I know what you want to talk about, so I'm not going to ask the question, what do you want to talk about? I was like, flipping sweet man, he's going to tell us what he thought about Captain America 4. And I realized he was actually talking about The Rock. Because incredibly, Rhodes started to ponder, well, what does it mean if another man wants to take your soul? And a small part of me, the bad part, was like, that sounds a little bit kinky. He also made it clear, though, he understood what The Rock was offering him because he didn't get to the top by himself. He's got a wife, he's got a daughter, he's got a little Brody, he's got the American Nightmare training facility, he has family members trying to break into this business. And he also remembers Dusty Rhodes having to work into his 60s just trying to earn ends meet. And he doesn't want that for any member of the Cody Rhodes clan. And The Rock can make that all vanish, even though Cody was going for that anyway, and he would have to scratch and claw. Now, it was on a silver platter. I'll be honest with you, it would work a little bit more if he was cutting this promo in like 1994, but Cody Rhodes is so damn good, he made it. Seth Rollins eventually stormed to the ring, mostly because he had trivia to Cody Rhodes. He was like, do you know this is the first time we have been together since WrestleMania 40? Damn. He would love to be out here to congratulate Cody Rhodes as well for everything he has done heading into WrestleMania 41, But he can't, because Rhodes, what the flub are you thinking? I mean, 12 months they stood side by side in order to stop the bloodline and to retrieve that WWE title. And now Cody Rhodes is thinking about teaming up with The Rock and giving him his soul. In fact, Cody, the fact you didn't slap The Rock as soon as he said that is a slap to me. I was like, Seth, that was very good wordplay. The whole time he was also dressed like lava. Because Rollins is now worried that belt is going to be sacrificed for absolutely nothing. Although while he thinks about it, maybe the pressure of being the WWE champion is starting to weigh on Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody admitted that he'd wanted this chat for a while, but he doesn't like the way Seth is sounding awfully judgmental. Because let's face it, while Dwayne Johnson did come to SmackDown to offer someone his soul or to take their soul, he didn't ask Seth Rollins, did he? Because everyone knows deep down in the tum-tum, Seth Rollins is already broken. He's been compromised by all the terrible things he has done in the past, like turning on the Shield, like smashing Cody Rhodes in the back with a sledgehammer, and that stupid laugh. He didn't say the laugh bit, I threw that in there for fun. He also joined up with the Authority and ran people like Cody Rhodes out of the company. Seth was like, yeah, man, I have let hate taken over me and now I try and channel that towards like a CM Punk and Roman Reigns, but I don't want that for you because I am in the Star Wars system. I totally get this and I don't want to feel this way, but I do and I don't want the same for you. Cody even talked about the fact that of course he loves Seth Rollins because he was his Shield at WrestleMania 40 and without him he wouldn't have lived up to his family dreams and become the WWE champion. Seth was like, yes, I want that too, but look at you, Cody Rhodes, you in a bad place. At the end of the day, Cody is a grown adult though and he can do whatever he wants, which is why he needs to hear this. Seth Rollins is going to win that chamber. When he comes for Cody, he wants to fight the Cody Rhodes that he knows and not some dude that is soulless. I was like, I think he thinks this is real, like Bart Simpson and Milhouse. Ultimately, he wants to take on the guy that only had one arm, which was a callback to the Cody Rhodes Hell in a Cell match when he tore his pec. But no, this Mr. Rhodes, Seth Rollins, isn't coming for your soul. He is coming for the WWE title. And while when you break that down, that's absolutely gibberish, it was also a pretty damn good line. So that ruled, as did all of this. It was such a good promo segment, because not only did it bring more sense to what The Rock was asking, but these two were great together. And it's made me go, well, someone is quite clearly going to sell their soul. But who the hell is it? It just feels like something big is coming, and whether this was last minute or not, I'm very excited for the Chamber, and I'm very excited for Mania 2. That's the whole point here. I want to look forward to things. It is getting an up. If you have 15 minutes today, you should go and watch it. Jey Uso in the back there ran into Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And Grayson Waller essentially opened up Reddit and said, right, Jey, I'm going to read you all the mean comments people say about you. And Jey was like, man, I'm so bored of this. I'll prove you all wrong at WrestleMania. When he did the yeet, Austin Theory also did the yeet. Grayson got mad. So Jey Uso super kicked him right in the face. So this did work, because of course now we can do Grayson Waller versus Jey Uso, and that just bides us some time. And it also continued to tease that Grayson and Austin are finally going to break up, which is good. We've been doing this for over a year. When we got to our main event, which was Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez taking on Bianca Belair and Naomi for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And after this, I will say it with all the confidence in the world, you can take every set of Tag Team Champions, and do you know which duo is the best right now? Whoever holds the women's belts, they're being booked better than the other two by a mile. Belair and Naomi even jumped Raquel and Liv before this, because they have been a couple of asshats. Honestly, when Liv was on the outside, she got pinged around. When she got back in the ring, well, they pinged her around some more. Raquel eventually made the save, but Bianca was like, nah, man. And she just hit her with a 450. And of course, Rodriguez kicked out of the 1-2. But my gosh, they started off hot. Belair then wanted the KOD, but Liv Morgan made sure to rake her eyes when Morgan and Raquel hit their double code breaker thingy. And once again, they got a 1-2. And by the end, I tell you, these fans were super duper into the near falls. They were eventually going move for move when Dominic Mysterio came out to be a mega dickhead, because he was casting distraction. But that just started this awesome chain of events when Raquel got rid of a bunch of people, Liv Morgan hit the Oblivion, and honestly, Bianca Belair broke that up at the last second. It even got me, I thought that was it. It happened again when Raquel was able to break up the KOD at the last second, when Naomi and Bianca Belair hit a double KOD. I was like, damn it, man, we are not in Kansas anymore, Toa. That was definitely the best one as well, because this was only stopped because the condom grabbed Liv Morgan's foot, and he put it on the ropes. The ref was like, oh man, I can't count the pin. Honestly, all of this ruled. Bianca was so damn mad, she finally went after the condom, but Rodriguez was able to stop that because she grabbed Belair and threw her into Alan the announce table. So all our ringside friends were being Merc Pro Wrestling teased. Naomi then used that to her advantage because she hit a big old dive, 20-25. But because there was so much madness going on, essentially the referee was distracted trying to stop people going, oh my gosh, I'm just trying to control a tag meet here. When Naomi went for the split-legged moonsault, That's when Raquel Rodriguez was like, fine, do you know what I'm gonna do? And she took her head, she whammed it into the ring post. Naomi sold this like she had been knocked out. When Liv crawled, she covered her, and she got the 1, 2, 3. They actually went hot damn. Now this is something we absolutely should establish, because if you do take someone's head and you smash it into some steel, that should count as the finish. And honestly, when Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez did win, I cheered a little bit. Not because I don't love Bianca Belair and Naomi, because I do, but it was just so well done. And now they can go off in their own direction, and of course Bianca and Naomi can go sort the Jade stuff. This was damn good wrestling, this was damn good sports entertainment, this was a damn good main event. I am absolutely getting it up. We have brand new champs. Michael Cole sold this huge as well and even said, oh my gosh, Liv Morgan's had a great 2024, which is totally true. She is on a tear. Just kind of ruined my prediction that she's going to win the Elimination Chamber. But you never know, man. Crazier stuff has happened. And in terms of a Raw and its overall rating, it is getting a massive up. It was a great go-home show for the Elimination Chamber. And if you're on the fence about watching it, you absolutely should. Or just watch some clips. Either is okay. It's a brand new world. Now, of course, please do also drop me a comment below and let me know what you thought about the show in case I am totally wrong, and click the video on the screen, which is my ups and downs from SmackDown. Trust me, I go off about that rock stuff. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. But otherwise, have a terrific week, my friends. I love all of you. See you soon.